Okay, this is the first day of the class, right? So first of all, let's write the syllabus, right? So this is our online class for physics, English medium, right? This is the first day of the class. This is the first day of the class, right? So please write your, take the book and write the heading as syllabus. You must know the syllabus before you start anything. So you should know the syllabus. So please write the heading as syllabus. Your physics online class, day 1, syllabus. So physics, there are several lessons in physics. Look at board. First you look at board. After that, I'll give you time to write. Okay, right. Look at board here. The first lesson in the syllabus is units, dimensions, unit dimensions, and measuring instruments. Please do not write, wait until I write the lessons. Units, dimensions, and measuring instruments. The second lesson in the syllabus is mechanics. The second lesson in the syllabus is mechanics. Mechanics lesson has 3 main components. The 3 major sections in mechanics. The first section is linear motion. The second section in mechanics, circular and rotational motion. Circular and rotational motion. The third one is fluid dynamics and fluid statics. So simply let me write it as fluids. The third lesson in the syllabus is oscillation and waves. Oscillations and waves. Even in oscillation and waves, there are 3 major sections. There are 3 major sections: simple harmonic motion, mechanical waves, sometimes this is known as sound waves, most popular term. And the third one is ray optics. So third lesson is a combination of 3 lessons. First lesson is also a combination of 3 lessons. Fourth lesson of the syllabus is normally we select as heat. It means actually thermal physics. Right? Fifth lesson of the syllabus is current electricity, or sometimes we simply say electricity. Current electricity. Right? That is lesson number 5. The sixth lesson of the syllabus is gravitation field. Gravitation fields. Seventh lesson is electric field. Electric field, sometimes called electromagnetism, because we learn together electric fields. Lesson number 8 is magnetic field. Right? Lesson number 9, electronics. Lesson number 10, mechanical properties of matter. Finally, we learn the last one is matter and radiation. Final lesson in the syllabus is matter and radiation. Please don't make noises. If you make noises, I have to remove you from the class, right? You make noises and I will definitely remove you. Right? If video is clear, if audio or video is not clear, send a message to Zoom chat. Right? The final lesson is matter and radiation. So first of all, please write the lessons in the syllabus. Write them all. Once you have written them all, send a message to Zoom chat saying that you have written. After that, I'll start. Write them all here. Many of the students had informed me that video and audio are clear. But if video and audio is not clear for you, you have to check your data connection. Because most of the students say quality is okay. Write them all, and once you have written, send a message to the Zoom chat saying that you have written. Then I'll go to the next section. Lamai, who wants more time to write these things? If you want any more time to write these things, please raise your hand up in the Zoom chat. If anybody wants any more time to write these things, please raise your hand up in the Zoom chat. Or you can send me a message saying that you want more time. Okay, right. I'll give you a few more minutes. Once you have written, send a message to Zoom chat that you have written. Okay, dear. I'll give you some more time. Some students want more time. So once you have written, please send a message to Zoom chat saying that you have written or saying wrote. Right. The next thing that you want to know about this physics syllabus is, for physics, they will give you, I will not erase, promise, I will not erase. They will give you 3 papers. So the next thing that you would know about the structure of physics papers. It's very important to know the nature of the papers that you are going to answer, that you are going to sit for, right? So the next thing that you want to know is the please don't write, I'll give you the time. The structure of physics papers. So in the exam, you have to say answer papers. How many papers are given here? Please don't write anything. How many papers are given? They will give you 3 papers. The paper number 1 is structured essay questions paper. Structured essay questions paper. The second paper is essay questions paper. Essay questions paper. The third paper is multiple choice questions paper. Multiple choice questions paper. Right. So please write the heading. Please write the heading as the structure of physics papers. Write the heading as the structure of physics papers. The structure of physics papers. Under that, please write the structure of physics papers. Under that, please write a student should answer for 3 papers. A student should answer for 3 papers. Heading is the structure of physics papers. Under that, please write a student should answer for 3 papers. a student should answer for 3 papers. Right. Now put 1, 2, 3 and write. Number 1, structured essay questions paper. Number 2, essay questions paper. Number 3, MCQs paper, multiple choice questions paper. Write them there. Right. Now I'm going to explain separately about each paper. Right. So first, let me explain about the structured essay questions paper. Right. So please write your first subheading as structured essay paper. It's very important to know the nature of the papers. Then only you are able to prepare for the papers well. Right. Okay. Please write your first subheading structured essay paper. Structured essay paper. Structured essay paper. Under that, please write structured essay paper. Under that, please write 4 questions are given in this paper. 4 questions are given in this paper. Structured essay questions paper. Under that, please write 4 questions are given in this paper. Full stop. Answers should be written on the paper itself. Answers should be written on the paper itself. Answers should be written on the paper itself. Full stop. Answer should be written on the paper itself. I think even in O-level science, you have answered this kind of structured essay papers. So what is the nature of structured essay papers, dear? Questions are given, and after each question, they will give you 2 or 3 lines. Few lines will be given. Then the next question is started just after those few lines. It means for a structured essay paper, the given space is very small. Within a very small space, you have to write all the answers. You have to write all the answers. That's the point. Okay, dear? So it means for the structured essay papers, you should practice to write short and accurate answers. Your answer should be very short, and at the same time, they should be very accurate. Okay, dear? Right. Star point and write. Star point and write. Star point and write. Only very small spaces are provided. Very small spaces are provided for the answers. Very small spaces are provided for the answers. For the answers. Very small spaces are provided for the answers. Therefore, short and accurate answers must be written. short and accurate answers must be written. Very small spaces are provided for the answers. Therefore, short and accurate answers should be written. Short and accurate answers should be written. Right. And the other thing is, right, for structured essay papers, you must write answers in passive voice. You must practice how to write answers in passive voice. I'll teach you, I'll explain how to do it when we are doing questions. Right? So all the answers should be written in passive voice. So once I explain these things, I'll give you a chance to unmute the mic and talk to me directly. But when I am explaining, I can't give you that chance. So once the explanations are over, I'll allow students to ask questions. They can unmute the mic and talk to me, but not now. Right. Star point and write. One more star point. One more star point and write. Normally, the structured essay questions are given from the following lessons. One more star point and write. Normally, the structured essay questions are given from the following lessons. Normally, the structured essay questions are given from the following lessons. From the following lessons. You see that there are 11 lessons in the syllabus. There are 11 lessons in the syllabus, but only 4 questions are given in the structured essay paper. Therefore, professors, examiners have to select 4 lessons out of the 11 lessons in the syllabus. Examiners have to select 4 lessons to give 4 structured essay questions out of the 11 lessons in the syllabus. Right. So what is the star point here? Normally, the structured essay questions are given from the following lessons. Right. Let me write the lessons. First structured essay question is normally given from mechanics. Normally, the first structured essay question is given from mechanics. Rarely they will give the first structured essay question from a measuring instrument. It's a very rare. Measuring instruments. Rarely they will give you the first structured essay question from measuring instruments. But more than 99% past paper questions, if we check, the first structured essay question is given from mechanics. Right. The second structured essay question is given from heat, thermal physics. The third structured essay question is given from mechanical waves or ray optics, not from both. Right? Not from both. Mechanical waves or ray optics. So the third structured essay question is given from mechanical waves. Sometimes the most famous form of the lesson is sound. They simply say sound lesson. Like mechanical waves or ray optics. Ray optics is the famous name for the ray optics is light. The famous name for the ray optics is light. Mechanical waves, sound, ray optics, light. That's how the people call them. The fourth structured essay question is given from current, electricity. The fourth structured essay question is given from the current, electricity. So what are the important lessons for the structured essay? I'll give you the time to write. Don't write now, I'll give you the time. So what are the most important lessons for the structured essay paper? Mechanics, heat, mechanical waves, ray optics, and current, electricity. Sometimes the first question may be given from measuring instrument. Measuring instruments mean vernier caliper, spherometer, traveling microscope, micrometer, screw gauge, something like that. So please write them all here. Please write them all. And once you have written, send a message to the Zoom chat saying that you have written or saying done. Start there. Lama, is my voice okay? Lama, was my audio okay? Was it or was it lagging? Please send a message to Zoom chat. Right, now I'll explain. Now I'll explain about this paper further. How many marks given for a question? For one question, the marks given for one question here. Can somebody guess? There are 4 structured essay questions, right? I'm talking about out of 100. Out of 100. So if we consider the structured essay paper, each question in the exam, they will give you 5 marks for each structured essay question out of 100. I'm talking about out of 100. Okay, dear? Right, put a star point and write. Star point and write. 5 marks are given for each structured essay question. 5 marks are given for each structured essay question. 5 marks are given for each structured essay question. Right. Now, can somebody unmute the mic and tell me, then what should be the total marks for the structured essay paper? Somebody unmute the mic and tell me. You can unmute now.
20.
20 marks. Very good. Excellent. Right. Star point and write. Star point and write. Therefore, 20 marks. 20 marks are given for the structured essay paper. Therefore, 20 marks. 5 like that. Therefore, star point and write. Therefore, 20 marks given for the structured essay paper. 20 out of 100. 20 marks given for the structured essay paper. Right. Please write your next subheading. Essay questions paper. Essay questions paper. And I think you know that even from O-level, the structured essay questions are based on laboratory practicals. There are some practicals in physics. We have to explain those practicals. We have arranged some video series for each practical. So these questions are based on the laboratory practicals. So you will understand once we start the laboratory practicals, right? So please write your next subheading, essay questions paper. Essay questions paper. Right. Please write under this subheading, please write 8 questions are given in this paper. 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 Full stop and write. A student should answer A student should answer only. A student should answer only. A student should answer only. Student should answer only. Can somebody guess there? 8 questions are given in this paper. How many questions that you should answer? For all the 8 questions or only few questions? Lamai? Ulai girl? How many questions that
Few
you should
questions.
answer? Just guess. Unmute the mic and tell me.
6 questions.
6 questions. Any other suggestions?
4
2.
question.
Huh?
4 sir.
4 questions. Very good, very good. So 8 questions are given in essay questions paper. A student should answer only 4 questions. Please write. A student should answer only 4 questions. A student should answer only 4 questions. A student should answer only 4 questions. Right? 8 questions are given, only 4 questions to be answered. So you are very lucky if you follow physics, right? Right. Star point and write. So this is the most important point next. Star point and write. Normally, the questions are given from the following lessons. Normally, the questions are given from the following lessons. Normally, the questions are given from the following lessons. Normally, the questions are given from the following lessons. Please don't write. Let me write first. After that, I'll give you time to write. Just look at board, don't write. The first question is given from mechanics. Always. In all the A-level papers, the first essay question is given from mechanics. The second essay question is given from mechanical waves. Say it to be sound. Mechanical waves. Mechanical waves or ray optics. Ray optics. The most popular names for them is, for the mechanical waves, the popular name is sound, and ray optics, the most popular name is light. This way, do not write anything. The third essay question. The third essay question is given from any lesson. This third question can be given from any lesson. Something like gravitation field, electric field, magnetic field, or mechanical properties of matter can be given from any lesson. The third essay question can be given from any lesson. The fourth essay question can be given from any lesson, right? Question 5, it's a very important question. Let me use a different color pen. Question 5 has 2 questions as capital A and capital B. Capital A and capital B. Capital A question is given from current electricity. Current electricity. Question B is given from electronics. Electronics. A student cannot answer both questions. A student should select only one of them. If you answer 5A and 5B both, the examiner will cut one of the questions and marks will be given for only one question. So please remember that in the exam, do not answer both 5A and 5B. Select one of them and write the answers. Right. Question number 6. Question number 6 also the same. There will be 2 questions as capital A and capital B. You should select one of them. Okay, dear? Even for question number 6, there will be 2 questions as capital A and capital B. So, for question 6, you have to select one of them. Capital A question is given from thermodynamics or thermal physics, heat. Question B is given from matter and radiation. Matter and radiation, right? So matter and radiation is a very interesting lesson. Einstein's explanations are there in matter and radiation lesson. Therefore, it's a very interesting lesson, right? So there will be 8 questions: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have to answer 4 questions. But in 6A, 6B, 5A, 5B, you have to select only one of them, not the both, right? Write them all, and once you have written, send a message to Zoom chat saying done. Then I'll go to the further explanations. We are trying to understand the structure of physics papers. There are 3 papers giving as structured essay paper, essay questions paper, and MCQ paper. Now we have explained about the essay questions paper. Write them all. Start there. If you have any doubt, you can use the Zoom chat here. If you send a message to Zoom chat, I will definitely answer. Even you can unmute and talk, but I think Zoom chat is better than that. So sometimes when you unmute and talk, I will not hear you properly. Right. Lamai, normally the structured essay question paper and essay questions paper given together. The structured essay and essay question paper given together. Total time duration given for both papers 3 hours. Total time duration given for both papers 3 hours. Normally, time should be managed like this. For the essay question papers, you need 2 hours. 2 hours mean 30 minutes for one essay question. For the structured essay question, normally for this paper, we should use only 1 hour. 1 hour. 1 hour means 15 minutes for one structured essay question. Both papers given together, the total time duration is 3 hours. The time is shared like this: 1 hour for the structured essay paper, 2 hours for the essay questions paper. That's how you want to share the time. Okay, if you want, you can mark those time durations also. Actually, there are 8 questions in this paper. Actually, there are 8 questions in this paper because question A, 5A is a separate question, 5B is a separate question. Unfortunately, you cannot answer both A and B. You have to select one of them. Again, 6A is a separate essay question, 6B is also a separate essay question. Unfortunately, you cannot answer one of both of them. You have to select one of them and answer. So altogether, there will be 8. So you have to select like 1, 2, 5A, 6A like that. Or 1, 2, 5B, 6B. Or 1, 3, 5B, 6A, something like that. You have to select 4 questions, but you cannot select both A and B. Both A and B cannot be selected. Right. So you will understand when we start discussing papers. Right. Then please write the next subheading: MCQs paper, multiple choice questions paper. Multiple choice questions paper. Right. Even in O levels, you have answered MCQs paper. The difference between O level and A level is for O level, for each question there will only be 4 answers. There will only be 4 answers. But in advanced level, there will be 5 answers. You have to select one of them. For one question, there will be 5 answers. You have to select one of them. There are 50 questions. One question carries 1 mark out of 100. Sorry, what about this essay questions paper here? How many marks for each question? Each essay question has 7.5 marks out of 100. Therefore, 4 essay questions you will have how many marks here? 7.5 marks for one essay question. You have to answer 4 essay questions. So 7.5 times 4 is 30 marks. So you will earn 30 marks out of 100. Put a star point before the MCQs paper. Put a star point and write before the MCQs paper subheading. Put a star point and write. Each essay question has 7.5 marks. Each essay question has 7.5 marks. 7.5 marks. Therefore, the total marks for the essay questions paper is. Therefore, the total marks for the essay questions paper is 30. Therefore, the total marks for the essay questions paper is 30. Therefore, the total marks for the essay questions paper is 30. Okay, dear? Right. After that, please write the heading MCQs paper. MCQs paper. Right. if I read the note fast, if you cannot write anything, you can send a message to Zoom chat saying that you want to repeat. If you send a message to Zoom chat saying repeat, I'll repeat the sentence that you are not able to write. Okay, please write MCQs paper. MCQs paper. Under that, please write 50 questions are given in this paper. 50 questions are given in this paper. 50 questions are given in this paper. Full stop. All the questions should be answered. All the questions should be answered. All the questions should be answered. Full stop. All the questions should be answered. Full stop. Each question has 1 mark out of 100. Each question has 1 mark out of 100. Each question has 1 mark out of 100. Full stop. Star point and write. Star point and write. Normally, star point and write. Normally, questions are given from the following lessons. Normally, the questions are given from the following lessons. Normally, the questions are given from the following lessons. Right? Look at board there. Look at board. Please don't write because I will give you the time to write. I'll give you time to write. Just look at board and first try to understand. What is the last star point here? Normally, questions are given from the following lessons. Look at board here. About 10 questions. Please don't write, just look at board. About 10 questions are given from mechanics lesson. About 10 questions are given from mechanics lesson. About means normally more than 10. That's the meaning of about. Actually, I should write more than 10. Right? So about 5 questions are given from the thermal physics heat lesson. About 5 questions are given from mechanical waves. Mechanical waves. About another 5 questions. Another 5 questions given from ray optics, means light. Ray optics, it means light lesson. Another 5 questions given from current electricity lesson. Current electricity lesson. Now, can somebody unmute the mic and tell me how many questions are given from these lessons here? Just count and tell me how many questions are given from these lessons here. Lamai?
30.
30, very good. 30 questions are given from these lessons. So, what are these lessons here? Mechanics, heat, mechanical waves, ray optics, current, electricity. I'll give you the time to write. Just listen to me. Let's imagine that there is a student. He has learned only these lessons. How many lessons here? Mechanics, heat, mechanical waves, ray optics, current, electricity. There are 11 lessons in the syllabus. A student has only learned these 5 lessons. So will he be able to get 30 marks here? 30 MCQs mean 30 marks. So he will definitely earn 30 marks from the MCQ paper. So we have assumed that a student is there, he has learned only these 5 lessons. So he will earn 30 marks from the structured essay paper. If he has learned only those 5 lessons, can he answer the first question here? Can he answer the first structured essay question, Lamoy? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, if he has learned mechanics, he can answer the first question. So first question is okay if he has learned only these 5 lessons. If he has learned only these 5 lessons, first structured essay equation is okay. What about the second structured essay equation, dear? He has learned heat, so he can answer second structured essay. If he has learned mechanical waves, see, mechanical waves, the third one okay. Ray optics, third one okay. And fifth one is current electricity. So if there is a student, let's imagine the situation. If there's a student, if he has learned these 5 lessons, he can earn 30 marks from the MCQ paper and all the 20 marks. You see, 5, 10, 15, 20. All the 20 marks can be earned from the structured essay paper, right? What about the essay paper, dear? Essay paper, can he answer the first essay question, Lamai?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Unmute the mic and tell me yes or no. Can answer the first question. What about the second question? Can he answer the second question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, definitely. Can he answer 5A? 5A?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Current electricity, yes. Can he answer 6A? Can he answer 6A?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So it means he can successfully answer 4 structured essay equations. 4 structured essay mean 7.5 times 4. That is 30. So we have imagined that there is a student, he has learned only these 5 lessons, and then he can obtain 30 marks even from essay equations paper. So what is the total mark that the person can earn here? That student can earn from all the 3 papers. Just add them and tell me.
80 marks.
80 marks. So how much you want to have A for physics? Huh? How much you want to have A for physics? Don't you know that one? For an
75,
A pass, you just want 75 marks. For an A pass, you just want 75 marks out of 100. 75 out of 100 is for A. So now you can earn 80 only from these 5 lessons. So therefore, what are the major lessons in physics syllabus, Lamai? Can somebody unmute the mic and tell me the major lessons in physics?
Mechanics, heat, mechanical
Mechanics,
waves,
heat.
ray optics, current electricity.
Very good. Mechanics, very good. Excellent. Mechanics, heat, mechanical waves, ray optics, current electricity. So the first thing is identifying the most important lesson. Then you should give more time for those 5 lessons. You should do more questions, more sums for those 5 lessons. So that's what you want to learn. That is the understanding that you want. Because if you try for units, dimensions, measuring instruments, they will give only 1 MCQ. 1 MCQ means 1 mark out of 100. Because I have seen that some students, they are doing about 500 questions for units, dimensions, and measuring instruments. It's a completely waste of time. Completely waste of time. 500 questions for such a simple lesson. Units, dimensions, measuring instruments. You will learn only 1 mark out of 100. You have wasted your time. You will definitely fail in the exam. So please identify the major lessons. Give more time, more questions, more problems, for more study time for these 5 lessons. Clear? Right. Now there is a magical lesson for you to be district first and island first. The magical lesson is you can earn, they will give you about 10 marks from the lesson fields. Fields mean gravitation field, electric field, and magnetic field. So if you wish to be the island first, if you wish to be the district first, you must give the next most important lesson is the fields. Actually, fields is a combination of 3 lessons: gravity, electric, and magnetic. Now write them all here. Write them all and send a message to Zoom chat saying done once you have completed them. Start there.
Excuse please. Okay.
Once you have written the note about the MCQ paper, send a message to Zoom chat saying done. Then I'll go for the next explanations. Okay, dear? Right, I think you have written them all. So normally 10 MCQs given from mechanics lesson, 5 questions given from heat lesson, another 5 questions given from mechanical waves, sound, another 5 questions given from ray optics, light, and another 5 questions given from current electricity, and another 5 questions given from the fields lesson. So fields lesson is a combination of 3 sections, that is gravitation field, electric field, and magnetic field. Now, how many marks that can be earned from mechanics lesson? Can somebody tell me? Please, somebody please count the total marks that can be earned from mechanics lesson. Unmute the mic and tell me. Lamai, please try it here.
22.5.
22.5. How? If we consider the mechanics lesson, if we consider
37.5.
very good, very good. If we consider mechanics lesson, there will be one structured essay equation. One structured essay equation. One structured essay equations mean 5 marks. 5 marks. And from mechanics lesson, there will be one essay equation. One essay equation. One essay equation means 7.5 marks. 7.5 marks. And there will be 10 MCQs. 10 MCQs. So 10 MCQs mean 10 marks. 10 marks. So what is the total marks there? What's the total here? Total will be 10 plus 7.5, 17.5 plus 5, 22.5. 22.5 marks. Normally, according to my observation, normally there will be 20 to 25 marks can be earned from mechanics lesson. 20 to 25 marks can be earned from mechanics lesson. 25 means 1/4 of the physics paper is mechanics. 1/4 of the physics paper is mechanics. So please write this note, dear. Please write this note, everybody. Right. So now somebody please tell me which is the most important lesson in physics. Which is the most important lesson in physics here? Somebody unmute the mic and tell me.
Mechanics.
Mechanics. Very good. So therefore, every year we start with the most important lesson. Okay, dear? So according to the syllabus, the first lesson is units, dimensions, and measuring instruments. But I start with the most important lesson because for mechanics lesson, you can earn 25 marks out of 100. But units, dimensions, measuring instruments, maximum that you can earn is 6 marks. Normally 1 mark out of 100. If a structure-based equation is given, you can earn 6 marks. Therefore, within the first few days, I teach you mechanics lesson, but with the time, I'll start the first lesson also. So it means I'm going to divide the time like this: 2 hours for mechanics lesson, 1 hour for units, dimensions, and measuring instruments. So that's how I am going to arrange the class. So when you join to next week class, you must have 2 books. 160 single rule CR book for mechanics lesson. The second book, 160 pages single rule CR book for units, dimensions, and measuring instruments. So how do we arrange the time there? 2 hours for mechanics lesson, 1 hour for measuring instrument lesson. We teach both lessons parallelly, so you can cover the syllabus earlier, and at the same time you can earn at least 30 marks out of 100, including that method, including both 1 and 2 lessons. Okay, dear? So please be well prepared. Right. Now let's start our teaching with the mechanics lesson. Right. So please use the same book and write the heading as mechanics. Use this book, use the book that you have used to write these things. Write the heading as mechanics. Please write the heading as mechanics. Right. Under that, please write mechanics lesson has 3 major sections. Mechanics lesson has 3 major sections. Mechanics lesson has 3 major sections. Number 1, linear motion, sometimes known as kinematics. Linear motion. Linear motion. Number 2, circular and rotational motion. Circular and rotational motion. Number 3, fluid statics and fluid dynamics. Simply let me write fluids. In fluids lesson, you learn Pascal's theorem, Archimedes theorem, Bernoulli's theorem, Pitot tube, like that. So those are things that you learn in fluids lesson, right? So your heading should be mechanics lesson. Under that, please write mechanics has 3 major sections. Put 1, 2, 3 and write these things: linear motion, circular rotational motion, and fluids. Okay, dear? Right. In linear motion section, actually, we start with the linear motion of mechanics, right? Most of the things, actually, first few things that you have learned even in O-level science. Even in O-level science, you have learned. So, look at board here. Let's say this is your book. This is the page. This is your book. So you should write, look at board. Look at board here. So you should write your first heading as linear motion. So linear motion is a heading. Under that, you should write your first subheading as displacement. Displacement. So if this is your page, heading is linear motion, subheading is displacement. We use the letter S for displacement. Write like this, dear. Let's start mechanics lesson with linear motion. Linear motion is the heading, displacement is the subheading. You have already learned displacement in O levels. Write them, dear. Write them. And at the same time, can somebody unmute the mic and tell me what the displacement is? Somebody in the class? Lamai, what is displacement? O-level science. Please try it. I'm very happy when you talk to me, dear. What is displacement? O-level science.
The nearest distance between points.
Very good. The shortest distance or the nearest distance. Very good. Very good. So please write the shortest distance between any 2 points. The shortest distance between any 2 points is known as displacement. The shortest distance between any 2 points, comma, is known as displacement. Displacement. Right. Shortest distance between any 2 points. Right. Star point and right. Star point and right. Let us consider the following 2 points. Star point and right. Let us consider the following 2 points. Let us consider the following 2 points. Let us consider the following 2 points. Look at board here. There is a point capital A. There is another point capital B. Please don't draw the figure. Don't draw it. If I want to find A to B displacement, what should I do? Lamai? I want to find A to B displacement. So what should I do, dear? Huh? This is just O level. Girl, what should I do?
Should connect those 2 points with
Very
line.
good. They should be
Single
connected. The
line.
2 points should be connected by a straight line. A and B should be connected by a straight line. Length of the AB line is the shortest distance between A and B. So we have 2 points called capital A and capital B. We want to find the displacement from A to B. So we should join AB points by a straight line. Length of the straight line is the shortest distance between A and B. If the length of the AB straight line is 10 meter, A to B displacement is 10 meter. But whenever we give a displacement, we should give something more. That's a very important quantity that must be given with the displacement. What is it here?
Direction.
Direction. Very good. We must give the direction. So we should say A to B displacement is 10 meter into the east direction. Draw the figure here. Draw the figure here. When you have a question, the best thing is sending a message to the Zoom chat here, because sometimes I will not hear you properly. Right? Because I have said that students unmute the mic and talk, but I do not hear them properly. The best thing is whenever you have a question, send a message to the Zoom chat so I can help you. Right? Is there anybody who wants any more time to draw this figure? Who wants more time to draw this figure? Please raise your hand up in the Zoom chat, or send a message to saying that you want more time to the Zoom chat. Right. So I think time is enough. So we want to find the displacement from A to B. What do? We join points A and B by a straight line. Then we measure the length of the AB straight line. Length of the AB straight line is 10 meter. Therefore, A to B displacement is 10 meter, and we should indicate the direction as east. Okay, dear. Star point and right. Star point and right. The length of the AB straight line. The length of the AB straight line. The length of the AB straight line is the length of the AB straight line is the shortest distance. The length of the AB straight line is the shortest distance between A and B. Length of the AB straight line is the shortest distance between A and B. Full stop. The length of the AB straight line is 10 meter. The length of the AB straight line is 10 meter. The length of the AB straight line is 10 meter, and point B is at the direction of east, and the point B is at the direction of east. Point B is at the direction of east. Leave a line and write the final point. Leave a line and write. Therefore, A to B displacement, capital A to capital B, A to B displacement is 10 meter to the east. 10 meter to the east. A to B displacement is 10 meter to the east. 10 meter to the east. Right. What is this meter, dear? Meter is the unit that we use to measure distance, displacement. This unit is known as SI unit. What is the meaning of SI, dear? It's
Standard
a word. Actually, it should
International
be written as IS, International System of Units. The units that we use at present known as International System of Units. This is the French term. SI units mean International System of Units. So the international unit of displacement is meter. So you learn about those units in the first lesson of physics, that is units, dimensions, and measuring instruments. I just wanted to identify it. I just want to tell you. Next week I start that lesson also. In addition to the mechanics, I'll start that lesson also. It means 2 hours for the mechanics lesson, 1 hour for the units and dimensions lesson. That's what I'm going to do from next week. Right. Star point and right. Star point and right. A displacement has a magnitude. Magnitude. A displacement, star point. A displacement has a magnitude within brackets 10 meter. A displacement has a magnitude within brackets 10 meter and a direction. A displacement has a magnitude within brackets 10 meter and a direction. and a direction. Therefore, a displacement is a displacement has a magnitude within brackets 10 meter and a direction within brackets east. Full stop. Therefore, a displacement is a. Can somebody tell me here? If something has a magnitude and a direction, what is it here?
Vector
Yes, right here.
quantity. Vector
Very good. It's a
quantity.
vector. Very good. Very good. So therefore, displacement is a vector. Displacement is a vector. Displacement is a vector. Okay, dear. Right. Then next star point. Next star point. Look at board. Capital S, capital I. The SI unit of displacement is meter. The SI unit of displacement is meter. Next star point. SI mean International System of Units. The SI unit of displacement is meter. Meter. Right. Now look at board there. Look at board. I'm going to ask you a question. SI unit of displacement is meter. Displacement is a vector. Those are things that we have written. Look at board there. Look at board. Let's say we send a toy car from A to B. We send a toy car from A to B. Look at board carefully. We send a toy car from A to B like this. Right? So let's say the toy car travels from A to B within 5 seconds. Within 5 seconds. So what is the displacement? What is the displacement of the object for 5 seconds here? Displacement for 5 seconds. How do we find it here? Damai? Just look at, please don't draw the figure, don't write anything. Just tell me what is the displacement of the car for 5 seconds. Can't you see this there? Lamai, what is the displacement for 5 seconds?
10 meters to the
10
east.
meter, very good. Speak loudly here. 10 meter. Displacement for 5 seconds is 10 meter. Then what should be the displacement? What should be the displacement for 1 second? How do we find this here?
2
How do
meters.
we find the displacement for 1 second?
2 meters.
Divide by time.
Divided by time, divided by 5. So displacement for 1 second is, we should divide this 10 meter by 5 seconds. 10 divided by 5 is 2. What is meter divided by second here? Per seconds comes up with the minus sign. Seconds comes up with the minus sign, so it will be meter per second. Displacement for 1 second is 2. How do you find it? 10 divided by 5. The unit is meter per second. Displacement for 1 second is said to be the rate. What is it called here? Change of something. Something for 1 second is said to be the rate. So the displacement for 1 second is said to be the rate of change of displacement. What is it called here? The displacement for 1 second is said to be the rate of change of displacement. So rate of change of displacement is 2 unit is meter per second. Rate of change of displacement is O-level sign. Somebody please tell me here. What is rate of change of displacement?
Velocity.
Velocity. Very good. Excellent. So therefore the velocity is 2 meter per second. So this is what we are going to learn next. So please write your next subheading velocity. Please write your next subheading velocity. Within brackets, please write V. Write your next subheading velocity. So what is velocity? O-level science. Somebody unmute the mic and tell me what the velocity is. Lamai. Right here, what is
Rate of
velocity? Unmute
change
the
of
mic and tell me.
displacement.
Again, please try again.
Rate of change of displacement.
Very good. Please try. Excellent. You remember science. Please try. The rate of change of displacement. The rate of change of displacement is defined as velocity. The rate of change of displacement is defined as velocity. The rate of change of displacement. The rate of change of displacement is defined as velocity. Is defined as velocity. Right. Star point and right. Star point and right. Let us consider the following motion. Star point and right. Let us consider the following motion. Let us consider the following motion. Right. Draw the figure and write down all the statements. Draw the figure and write down all the statements. Start there. And once you have written them all, send a message to the Zoom chat saying done. Once you have drawn the figure and written the statements, send a message to the Zoom chat saying done. Then I'll go for the next descriptions, next theory part. Draw the figure and write down the statements up to velocity equals 2 meters per second. After that, send me a message to the Zoom chat saying that. You should draw the figure and you must write all the statements up to this. Up to velocity equals 2 meters per second. Write everything up to this and send a message to Zoom chat saying done. Start there. Right, we have found the velocity as 2 meters per second, but what is the equation that you have used in O levels to find displacement here? Somebody please unmute the mic and tell me what is the equation that you used to find velocity in O levels? Labai, you must talk to me here. In advanced level, you should not be silent.
Displacement over time.
Very good, excellent. So velocity equals displacement divided by time taken. This is the equation that we use in O levels. So that is still valid. The displacement is 10 meter. Displacement is 10 meter. Time taken is 5 seconds. 10 divided by 5 is 2 meter divided by seconds. Meter, this S comes up with the minus sign, power of -1. So velocity equals 2 meter per second. You can obtain this answer even by the O-level equation. So please write this as a note. Please write this as a note, dear. Start. You must talk to me. You must ask questions. You must answer my questions in advanced level. The only thing is you connect to me by using an internet connection. But all the other things are very same as in the normal physical class, right? The only thing you see me through a screen using an internet connection, but all the other things are similar to a normal physical class, Therefore, you must answer my questions and you must ask questions whenever you have a doubt. You must unmute the mic and talk to me or send a message to the Zoom chat. Okay, dear. Right. Now, what is the SI unit of velocity according to this example, Lamai? What is the unit of velocity?
ms minus 1.
Meter per second, ms -1. I think you have written the note. Time is enough to write the note, right? Is the time enough to write the note? Yes. So please stop point and write the SI unit, capital S, capital I, capital S, capital I. The SI unit of velocity. The SI unit of velocity is meter per second, ms -1. The SI unit of velocity is meter per second, ms -1. Next star point. The velocity of the above motion is 2 meter per second into the east direction. The velocity of the above motion is 2 meter per second to the east direction, into the east direction. The velocity of the above motion is 2 meter per second into the east direction. Full stop. Leave a line and write. A velocity has a, leave a line and write. A velocity has a magnitude. A velocity has a magnitude within brackets 2 ms -1. A velocity has a magnitude within brackets 2 ms -1. 2 ms -1 and a direction. Within brackets east. A velocity has a magnitude and a direction. Magnitude within brackets 2 meter per second and a direction within brackets east. So if something has a magnitude and a direction, what is it here? What kind of a quantity is it? Unmute the mic and tell me.
Vector.
Very good. Yes, it's a vector quantity. Full stop and continue. Therefore, full stop and continue. Therefore, a velocity is a vector. Therefore, a velocity is a vector. Therefore, a velocity is a vector. The velocity is a vector. Right. Can somebody read all the star points that I have given after this note? I have asked you to write down this note. I have asked you to write down these notes. After that, I have given some star points. Somebody please unmute the mic and read the star points here, please.
The SI unit of velocity is ms minus 1. The velocity of the above motion is 2 meter second minus 1 to the east direction. A velocity has a magnitude and a direction, therefore velocity is a vector quantity.
Thank you very much, dear. Thank you very much. One more student, please unmute the mic and read loudly and slowly. One more student, please read the star points. We must help each other. As humans, we must help each other. There are some students, they were not able to write the star points. So if you have written the star points, somebody, one more student, please unmute the mic and read the star points here. Start.
The SI unit of velocity is meter per second. The velocity of the above motion is 2 meters per second into the east direction. A velocity has a magnitude within brackets 2 meters per second and a direction within brackets east. Therefore, a velocity is a vector quantity.
Very good, dear. Very good. Thank you very much. Right. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Look at board, dear. Actually, physics is always ask questions. Listen, dear. Even if you go to exam, they will ask questions. So from the very beginning, I also ask questions, right? Whenever I teach, I ask questions. So you should answer my question. Listen to me, dear. Let's say an object is moving from A to B. Let's say this is a toy car, then it's easy to understand. So an object is moving from A to B. Let's say its initial velocity is 2 meters per second. Final velocity, let's say 7 meters per second. Final velocity is 7 meters per second. Time taken for the motion, let's say 5 seconds. So what has happened to the velocity here? Has the velocity increased or has it been decreased? Somebody please tell me here. Lamai, what has happened to the velocity? Increased or decreased?
Increase.
Velocity has
Increase.
been increased. If the velocity is increased, it is known as an Lamai.
Acceleration.
If there is an increase in velocity, then we say it has an Lamai.
Acceleration.
Acceleration. Very good. So please write your next subheading acceleration. Acceleration within brackets simple A. Please write your next subheading as acceleration within brackets simple A. Simple A is the letter that we use for acceleration. Okay, dear. Right. So somebody please unmute the mic and tell me the definition of acceleration. You know it from O-level science. What is acceleration here? Lamai? What is acceleration?
Increase of velocity per time.
Rate of change of velocity. I'm so happy. Very good. You remember your O-level science. Very good. So please write rate of change of velocity is defined as acceleration. The rate of change of velocity is defined as acceleration. The rate of change of velocity is defined as acceleration. The rate of change of velocity is defined as acceleration. right? Star point and right. Star point and right. Let us consider the following motion. Let us consider the following motion. Let us consider the following motion. Please draw this figure. Let me change the initial velocity as 3. Let me change the initial velocity as 3. Let us consider the following motion. Draw the figure including the directions. Do not forget to draw the directions, right? So what is the star point? Let us consider the following motion. Draw the direction and draw the figure. Start there. And once you have drawn the figure, send a message to the Zoom chat saying done. Send a message to the Zoom chat saying done. Once you draw it. Start there. Right. If audio or video becomes not clear, you must send a message to Zoom chat so I can change my data connection. If audio is not clear or if audio is lagging, if video is not clear, send a message to Zoom chat so I can change my data connection. Right. Who wants more time to draw this figure here? Lamai, who wants more time to draw this figure? Right. Look at board here. Look at board. Look at board. What is the initial velocity here? Somebody unmute the mic and tell me the initial velocity. Lamai?
3 ms minus.
Very good. The initial velocity is, please don't write 3 meters per second. Please don't write, I'll give you the time to write. So then what is the velocity? What is the velocity after 5 seconds? Velocity after 5 seconds. Somebody please tell me.
7 ms minus 1.
7 ms minus 1. Very good. Very good. Then what, therefore, what is the increase in velocity? What is the increase in velocity? Increase in velocity for 5 seconds. Somebody please tell me here. What is the increase in velocity for 5 seconds?
4 ms minus 1.
4 ms minus 1. How do you find it here? Final velocity 7, initial velocity 3. Therefore, the increase in velocity for 5 seconds is 7 minus 3, that is 4 meters per second. Can you see that edge of the board here? Can you see the edge of the board? Yes. Right. My final statement is, therefore, what is the increase? Therefore, what is the increase in velocity? Increase in velocity for 1 second. How do I find it here? How do I find the increase in velocity for 1 second?
Divide by 5.
Divide by the time. Very good. So I should divide this 4 meters per second by 5 seconds. increase in velocity for 5 seconds is 4. Increase in velocity for 5 seconds is 4. Therefore, increase in velocity for 1 second is 4 over 5. 4 divided by 5. 4 over 5 is 0. Put a point. 40 divided by 5 is 8. 0.8 meter per second divided by another second. Then what's the unit here? S minus 1. This S also go up with the minus sign. S minus 1 means S minus Lamai?
2.
S minus 2, yes. S minus 1, and with this S also go up with another minus sign. S minus 1 means S minus 2. So this is the increase in velocity for 1 second. Increase in velocity for 1 second is said to be the rate. Increase or change for 1 second is said to be the rate. So this is said to be the rate of change of velocity. So rate of change of velocity is 0.8. 0.8. But what is what is the rate of change of velocity here? What is the definition of rate of change of velocity? Lamai? Rate of change of velocity means, Lamai?
Acceleration.
Acceleration. Very good. Therefore, the acceleration is 0.8 meter per square second. So this is one of the way to find acceleration in advanced level. So draw the figure and write down all the statements. Draw the figure and write down all the statements. Once you have written them all, send a message to the Zoom chat saying done. Okay, dear? Send a message to the Zoom chat saying done once you have written them all. If you want, I can read the statements. So yes, why not? The first statement is the initial velocity equals 3 meter per second. The velocity after 5 seconds, 7 meter per second. Therefore, the increase in velocity for 5 seconds equals 7 meter per second minus 3 meter per second equals 4 meter per second. Next statement, therefore, the increase in velocity for 1 second is 4 over 5, that is 0.8. Increase in velocity for 1 second is the rate of change of velocity. Rate of change of velocity is the acceleration. Therefore, acceleration equals 0.8 meter per square seconds. S minus 2 means square seconds. Write them all here. Right. A student has asked how to define rate. In advanced level physics, rate means change of something for 1 second. In applied maths, they have a separate different meaning. But in physics, rate means change of something for 1 second. That's how we define. So rate of change of velocity means change in velocity for 1 second. So increase is a change. Increase or decrease is a change. So change of something for 1 second is said to be the rate. Yes, you have understood it very well. Very good. Right. So, but somebody please tell me, somebody please unmute the mic and tell me what is the equation that you use to find acceleration in O levels? Lamai, what is the equation that you use to find acceleration in O levels?
V minus U over T.
Try again, dear, I didn't hear you properly. Try one more time.
V minus CO2 into T.
Yeah, in words, dear, how do you say? Very good. Yes, correct. In words, how do you write that equation?
Final
Word
velocity
equation.
minus initial velocity over time.
Very good, very good. Excellent. Acceleration equals increase in velocity. Increase is a change, right? Increase is a change. So acceleration equals increase in velocity. You are very good. You have understood things very well. I'm so happy. So increase in velocity divided by time taken. Wait, how do you find increase in velocity here? Lamai, how do you find increase in velocity?
Final velocity minus initial velocity.
Very good. You remember level science, right? I'm very happy. So increase in velocity means final velocity. Final velocity minus initial velocity. Final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time taken. What is the final velocity according to this figure here? What is the final velocity according to this figure?
7 ms minus 1.
7
meters
ms minus
per
1.
second. Very good. What is the initial velocity according to this figure?
3 ms minus 1.
3 meters per second. Time taken is 5 seconds. So 7 minus 3 is 4 over 5. 4 divided by 5 is 0. You put a decimal point here. Then 4 will be 40. 40 divided by 5 is 8. 0.8 meter per square second. So the O-level equation also gives us the same answer. So please write it as a note. Please write it as a note there. Complete them all and send a message to Zoom chat saying done once you have written them all. Start there. Right. Right. So what is the meaning of acceleration is 0.8 here? What does it mean? Acceleration is 0.8. Do you know the practical meaning of that statement here? Hmm?
The velocity increases by 0.8.
Velocity increases by 0.8 for each and every second. Yes, very good. Excellent. Velocity increases by 0.8, the value of 0.8 for each and every second. How do we prove it? How do we prove that? How do we prove it? Listen, dear. If I consider this motion, at the point capital A, this object has a velocity of 3 meters per second. If I consider this motion at the point capital A, it has a velocity of 3. If I wait 1 second, after 1 second, what will be the velocity of this object here? After 1 second, the velocity of the object is the summation of the previous velocity, that is 3, and the acceleration 0.8. So what is the velocity after 1 second? It is the summation of the previous velocity and the acceleration. So there will be 3.8 meter per second, right? So velocity after 1 more second. Velocity after 1 more second. What will be the velocity after 1 more second here? Same method. Previous velocity 3.8 plus acceleration 0.8. So what is this here? 3.8 plus 0.8. Lamai?
4.6.
4.6. Very good, very good. 4.6. Then what will be the velocity after 1 more second? What will be the velocity after 1 more second? Lamai?
5.4.
Very good. Previous velocity 4.6. Previous velocity plus acceleration 0.8. So altogether, Lamai?
5.4.
5.4. 5.4. 5.4 or 5.2. Lamai?
5.4.
5.5. Check. So like that, please add and check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. Please draw this figure and find the velocity of the vehicle after 5 seconds. Right here. What will be the velocity of this object after 5 seconds here? You will try here. You will try 1, 2, 3, 4, and after 1 more second. What will be the velocity of the vehicle after 5 seconds? Right here. You should draw a straight line, draw all the figures, and check whether you get the final velocity as 7 meters per second. Check here. Please check. Draw it like this and check whether you get the final velocity as 7. Right? So after 1 more second here, the velocity at this point is the summation of 5.4 and acceleration. So velocity here is the summation of the previous velocity, that is 5.4 plus acceleration 0.8. So it means 6.2 meter per second. So velocity of the object after 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds, 6.2 meter per second. So velocity after 5 seconds is the summation of previous velocity 6.2 plus acceleration 0.8. So that is it. So it means our answer, our definition is correct. So acceleration increases the velocity by the amount of acceleration after each and every second. Acceleration increases the velocity by the amount of acceleration after each and every second. So velocity after 1 second is the summation of the previous velocity and acceleration. So this is the diagram which used to explain the practical meaning of acceleration. Complete it. Please complete it, draw the figure and send a message to Zoom chat saying done once you have drawn the figure. Right? If you have drawn the figure, send a message to the Zoom chat saying done, then I can go for the next thing. Actually, the next thing is the advanced level thing. The next thing that we are going to learn is the advanced level. Up to now, all these things are O level. Right. I think you have written, drawn the figure. The next thing is the most important thing that we are going to learn, right? So you have not learned the next thing in O levels. So look at board there. Look at board. Let's say instead of 3 meter per second, let's say initial velocity is u meter per second. And after simple t seconds, let me take the final velocity as v. Initial velocity is u. After simple t seconds, the velocity is v. The acceleration of the motion is simple a meter per square seconds. The displacement of the object for simple t seconds is s meter. Now we are going to find the relationship between initial velocity, final velocity, acceleration and time and displacement. We are going to obtain 4 equations. The 4 equations that we are going to obtain are known as the equations of linear motion. So please write your next subheading as the equations of linear motion. The equations of linear motion. Don't worry, I will not erase this figure. I promise I will not erase this figure. So please write your next subheading, the equations of linear motion. the equations of linear motion. The equations of linear motion. Under that, please write. Under that, please write. Let us consider an object. Let us consider an object which is moving along a straight line path. Let us consider an object which is moving along a straight line path. Which is moving along a straight line path with a constant acceleration. With a constant acceleration. Let us consider an object which is moving along a straight line path with a constant acceleration. With a constant acceleration. Now please draw this figure. Draw this figure here. Please draw this figure. Start. Is the time enough for this figure here? Is it okay if I erase this figure now? If you want any more time to draw this figure, send a message to the Zoom chat. The previous figure. If anybody wants any more time to write the previous figure, please send a message to the Zoom chat. If not, I will erase it. Right. Now look at board here. I am going to use your O-level equation to obtain the first linear motion equation. So that is acceleration equals increase in velocity divided by time taken. Look at board here. Please don't write anything, just look at board. What is acceleration according to O-levels? Acceleration equals increase in velocity divided by time taken. Here, I have used the letter simple A for the acceleration. So it means acceleration is simple A equals increase in velocity means final velocity minus initial velocity. So A equals final velocity is V, initial velocity is U, time taken is T. Final velocity is V, initial velocity is U, time taken is T. Let me take simple T to this side. Then I will obtain A times T equals V minus U. A times T equals V minus U. Now, I'll take this minus U to the other side. I take minus U to the other side of the equation, then minus U becomes plus U. So, A into T is AT, minus U comes this side as plus U equals V. So this is our first linear motion equation. What is the form of the equation, dear? Lamai, please talk to me, dear. What is the equation? V equals, what is this? What is this, dear? You have to talk to me, right? V equals, what is the first letter?
Initial velocity.
U, very good. V equation mark, then U plus, after that, Lamai?
AT, acceleration into time.
AT, V, very good. V equals U plus AT. This is your first linear motion equation. V equals U plus AT. Complete it, dear. Write them all.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, dear. Is anything difficult?
So do we want to remember the letters as well?
I didn't hear you properly. Would you please speak loudly?
So do we want to remember the letters as well or only the value?
We should use letters, dear. Can you type and send me your message to the Zoom chat, dear? Please
Okay.
type and send a message to Zoom chat. I can help you then. The first linear motion equation is V equals U plus AT. Yeah, you should remember the letters there. You have to remember the letters, the equations you must remember. Yes. Yes, dear. Now I understood your question. You should remember these letters. V equals U plus AT. Yes, definitely. V is the final velocity, U is the initial velocity, A is the acceleration, T is the time taken. You have to remember them all. In the exam, no need to prove, you can directly use the equation. You have that chance, right? So you should remember the letters. You should remember the letters, but no need to prove the equation in the exam. So you are happy now, right? Write this, dear. It's a very good question. I'm really happy when students ask questions. You ask questions mean you learn. That's why you have questions. Very good, Buddha. Nice. Some students unmute the mic and talk to me, but their voices are not clear. Therefore, please send a message to Zoom chat here. Because I think some of the students, they have network problems. The best thing is sending a message to the Zoom chat, so your message will be clear, your question will be clear, then I can answer you easily. Have you heard something so-called average speed, average velocity, dear? Have you heard something so-called average velocity, average speed? Listen, dear. Let's say you travel from one city to another city. For example, you travel from Colombo to Kandy. You travel from Colombo to Kandy. I don't know the real distance. Let me assume that the distance displacement from Colombo to Kandy, let's say 140 kilometers. Let's say you drive a car, you drive a very fast car, a Lamborghini. So you travel from Colombo to Kandy within 2 hours. Within 2 hours. So what is your average speed, dear? Can somebody tell me? What is your average speed? Lamai?
70 kilometers per hour.
70 kilometer per hour. How do you find it here? For 2 hours, the distance is 140. For 2 hours, displacement is 140. Therefore, displacement for 1 hour is 140 divided by 2. That is 70. So your average speed, average velocity is 70 kilometer per hour. 70 is the total distance or total displacement. 2 is the total time taken. So average velocity can be found by dividing the total displacement by the total time taken. Is it clear for all here? If you have any doubt, please ask. Try to understand this example. Don't draw it, don't write it. Is the method clear? Average velocity is 70. Is it clear for you? If you have any doubts, send a message to the Zoom chat. Yes, dear, very good. Average velocity means the mean velocity. Yes, very good. Average means mean velocity. Yes, very good. Any other questions? Is this clear? Ramai, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now put a star point and write. Star point and write. Star point and write. The average velocity of the above motion. The average velocity of the above motion can be found in 2 different ways, in 2 different methods. The average velocity of the above motion can be found in 2 different methods. The average velocity of the above motion can be found in 2 different methods. Look at board. The first method is, look at board, average velocity. The first method is average velocity equals, please don't write anything. Please don't write anything, just look at board. Average velocity equals total displacement, divided by total time taken. What is the first method to find average velocity here? Total displacement divided by total time taken. Now look at the figure here. What is the total displacement in this motion? Lamai, what is the total displacement in this motion? Just look at the figure and tell me what is the total displacement. What is the displacement? That is the total displacement. Lamai?
S.
Yes, why not? Total displacement is S. You are confused when I ask questions, right? So total displacement means the displacement, that is S. What is the total time taken? What is the total time taken?
T.
T. So average velocity is S over T. Total displacement divided by time taken. What is the second method to find the average velocity? Can somebody tell me here? What is the second method to find average velocity? May I give you a practical example? Let's say for O-level science, you get 70 marks. 70 marks. You are genius. For maths, you get 90 marks. So what is the total marks for the 2 subjects there? Science 70, maths 90. So what is the total marks for the 2 subjects?
160.
160. Very good. Then what is the average mark for a subject? Lamai, what is the average mark for a subject?
80 marks.
80 marks. How do you find 80 there? You divide 160 by 2, then you get 80. So I think you are very familiar with this kind of average, this kind of mean. So maths for the marks for the science 70, marks for maths 90, total marks for the 2 subjects 160. Therefore, the average marks, mean marks for a subject is 160 divided by 2, that is 8. So like that, even in this case, we can use a similar method, very similar to this. Average velocity is the summation of initial velocity plus final velocity. Initial velocity plus final velocity and divided by 2. Am I right here? 160 means 70 plus 90. 160 means 70 plus 90. Like that. Average velocity means initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. So average velocity, final velocity. What is final velocity here? Initial velocity is u, final velocity is v over 2. U plus v over 2 is the average velocity. So we can find average velocity in two different cases. That is total displacement divided by total time taken, or average velocity equals initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. U plus v over 2. Write them all here. Write them all, and once you have written them all, send a message to the Zoom chat saying done. Start here. Right. Whenever you ask questions, I always answer your questions, right? So if you send a message to Zoom chat, I will definitely answer. Right. Now look at board here. Look at board here. right? You see that one object must have only a single average velocity. One object must have only single average velocity. It means, let's say you use the first equation, you calculate the average velocity. So you find the average velocity as 2 meters per second. Use the second equation. You use the second equation, then you find the average velocity as 3. Is it possible there? From the first equation, average velocity of this object is 2 meters per second. From the second equation, average velocity of the same object is 3 meters per second. Is it possible? Possible or impossible? Lamai?
Impossible.
It is impossible. So whatever the equation that we use, you must obtain the same value for the average velocity. Whatever the equation you use, you must obtain the same value for the average velocity. It means this equation and this equation should be the same. The two equations must be equal. Then only they will give you the same average velocity. Star point and write a single object should have only one average velocity. A single object should have only one single average velocity. A single object should have only one single average velocity. Therefore, the average velocity is given by the above two equations. The average velocity is given by the above two equations should be equal. Therefore, the average velocity is given by the above two equations should be equal. The average velocity is given by the above two equations should be equal. So then average velocity given by the first equation is s over 2. Average velocity given by the second equation is u plus v over 2. U plus v over 2. These two velocities should be the same. These two should be the same. So this is our second linear motion equation. S over t equals u plus v over 2. This is our second linear motion equation. This equation is known as average velocity equation. Average velocity equation. Let's write this there. Please write this. Right. Look at board there. I'm going to do some questions. But before that, I'm going to give you a homework. In advanced level, you have a lot of homeworks. Listen dear. The homework is this. You must use the equation number 1 and use the equation number 2 and try to obtain these two equations. The next equation that you should obtain is S equal ut plus half AD square, that is the third equation. And the fourth one, V square equals U square plus 2AS. You try to obtain these two equations at home. Next week I'll prove them. But you should try them at home. You should take photos and send to my WhatsApp. I'll give you my WhatsApp number. Please wait because I don't remember it. Give me a time. I'll send you a WhatsApp number to Zoom chat. Right. Star point and write. By using the first and second equations, comma, the following equations can also be obtained by using the above 1 and 2 equations, comma, the following two equations can also be obtained. The following equations can also be obtained. Please write equation number 3 and 4 here. Please write equation number 3 and 4 right here. Right, so I'll prove these equations, these 3 and 4 I will prove next week, but now I want to do some questions. Before I do the questions, I would like to write the summary of the things that we have learned today. So it means now I'm going to discuss some questions, right? Before the questions, let me write the summary, right? The summary is this. Look at board. If an object is moving along a straight line path with a constant acceleration, we can use 4 equations. The first equation is V equals U plus 18. The second equation is the average velocity equation, that is S over T equals U plus V over 2. U plus V over 2. The third equation is S equals UT plus half 18 square. The fourth equation is V square equals U square plus 2AS. Right? In the exam, you can directly use them, no need to prove them. But you must try to prove these 2 equations. You should take photos and you should send your answers to my WhatsApp. I'll give you my WhatsApp number. So please write summary, draw the figure and write the 4 equations. Summary, draw the figure and write the 4 equations. Quick there, because we want time to do questions also. Please quickly write them there. Right. I think you have written the summary. Before I start discussing some questions, I want to show you the tubes that we are going to give you here. So we will, for all the online students, we send tubes by post. So we have arranged several tubes for this month. For the first month, we have arranged several tubes and some small question papers. Those papers are very small, but they are very important. Some important questions we have given in the paper of a A4 sheet. 5 to 10 questions will be there, but it's very important to answer those questions. The first tube that we give is a 600 questions tube. Let me show you here. The first tube contains 600 questions. Let me show you it. Lamai, can you see it there? Lamai, can you see the first this there? So this is the first tube that we will give you. It contains 600 questions, right? So these are the cities that I am doing physical classes. Kandy, Kurunegala, Gampaha, and Nigambu. There are physical classes in Kandy, Kurunegala, Gampaha, and Nigambu. If you want, you can join to the physical classes also. So this is the first tube that we will give you. We will post this tube in this month. So it contains 600 questions, right? So sometimes if there's a problem, if we have not able to print all the questions at once, sometimes we will divide into 6 sections and send you as 6 separate tubes. 6 separate tubes. That is that will happen, right? So these are the questions given in that tube, right? So there are 600 questions tube. So starting from number 1, and this is next week lesson. These questions are targeting for the next week lesson. Today, this, right? So we will send you all these tubes to you by post. Okay, dear? Right. So this is for the mechanics lesson. And let me show you the other tube. This one. This is a past paper question tube. Can you see it there, Lamai? Can you see this tube? So this is a past paper question tubes. It will give you past paper questions during last 30 years. This tube will explain you about the questions, past paper questions given from mechanics lesson, essay questions during last 30 years, right? So we will send all these tube to you by post, right? Past paper questions, right? So the 600 questions tube is the new questions tube, right? Today I'm not going to explain any of these questions, but I'm going to discuss a question in this there. It means a question in a small paper like this. So this is one of the small questions papers. They are very important here. So you see that only 5 questions are given here. You see, only 5 questions are given, but they are very important. Even though it's 5 questions are given, they are very, very important. So therefore, we will send you these papers also by post, right? If you like, we can arrange even PDF also, right? So if you wish to continue the online class, you should send a message to our WhatsApp here. I'll give you WhatsApp number soon. So you can send a message to the WhatsApp. So we will register you and we send you the tubes and we will give you all the details. Now, shall we try the first question of this paper here? Shall we try the first question given in this paper? Can somebody unmute the mic and read question number 1? Lamai? Somebody please unmute the mic and read question number 1. Is video clear or not, dear? Can somebody read the question? Okay, nobody. Okay, screen is not clear. Right, I'll read the question. Yeah, it says that screen is not clear. So I'll read the question. An object starts to move at rest. It travels along a straight road. It travels along a straight path with a constant acceleration for 10 seconds. An object starts to move at rest. It travels along a straight road with a constant acceleration for 10 seconds. The displacement of the object after 10 seconds is 60 meters. Find its acceleration. Find its acceleration and final velocity. Right, find its acceleration and final velocity. Right, so let's try that question here. Let's try that question. Right, so it says that, so please write, you can write the heading as theory paper 1, TP1, paper 1, question number 1. It says that there is an object, you should draw the figure. It says that there is an object. It travels along a straight road with a constant acceleration. Constant acceleration. Right. So initial velocity starts to move at rest. Starts to move at rest mean what should be the initial velocity, Lamai? What should be the initial velocity?
0.
Yes, dear. Starts to move at rest mean what should be the initial velocity? Please try it. Starts to move at rest mean initial velocity is 0. Initial velocity is 0. Final velocity is v. Time taken is t. Displacement is given as 60 meters. Please draw this figure here. Same TP1, question number 1. Draw this figure here. Let's draw the figure and mark all the details. Mark all the data. Start here. They have given that starts at rest mean initial velocity is 0. Time taken given as 10 seconds. Displacement is 60 meters. Time 10 seconds. Find acceleration and the final velocity. Find acceleration and the final velocity. So time taken is 10 seconds. Acceleration not given. Final velocity not given. So what is the best equation that can be used to find acceleration here? You see that displacement is given. Displacement is given. Therefore, we should start with the displacement equation. What is the displacement equation among the 4 equations, Namai? The best displacement equation is this, S equal ut plus half a square. So let me use that equation. You should understand that. You should remember that the displacement, velocity, acceleration, all are vectors. Vectors have magnitude and directions. Object is moving to my right hand side. Therefore, whenever I apply an equation, I should indicate the direction as right hand side because they are vectors. So let me use the equation S equal ut plus half at square. So displacement is 60, initial velocity is 0, time taken is 10, plus half acceleration is a, time taken is 10, and square of that. Can you do the rest and find simple area? Can you do the rest and find simple quick? Send your answer to my Zoom chat. Find acceleration and send your answer to my Zoom chat here, quick. Right. Look at board there. So this is 60. 0 into anything is 0 plus half into a square of 10 is 100. Square of 10 is 100. So 60 equals 100 divided by 2 is 50. 100 divided by 2 is 50 into a. If you take 50 to this side by cross multiplication, you can take 50 to the other side by cross multiplication. 60 over 50 equals a. So it means acceleration equals 0, 0 cancelled out, 6 over 5. 6 over 5 meter per square second. So if you divide 6 by 5, you get a equals 6 divided by 5 is 1.1 remaining. 10 divided by 5 is 1.2 meter per square seconds. Who got this answer? Please raise your hand up in the Zoom chat. Who got this answer? Lamai? Right, very good, very good. How do you find the this final velocity? What should you do to find the final velocity? What is the best equation that can be used to find the final velocity? Lamai? Somebody unmute the mic and tell me what is the best equation that can be used to find the final velocity? Lamai?
First equation.
Equation
Yes,
one.
V equals U plus 85. Very good. Initial velocity is 0. Acceleration 1.2 into time is 10. Look at board. 1.2 can be written as 12 over 10. Am I right here? 12 divided by 10 is 1.2. 1.2 can be written as 12 over 10. And I can write this 10. So this 10 and this 10 cancelled out. So you get the final answer as 12 meter per second. Who got this answer also? Lamai? Right. We should try all the other questions. We should try all the other equations given in the paper.